Help people turn off the sound.
Yep, I'm getting ready.
Here's again, if you have time, you can check these websites out or recording too, Jamie. All right. Because this may be the last week we do this, but we're also going to try to get some more stuff together to be able to put up on our YouTube. Did you get that one up on, Jamie?
Yeah.
So the new worst case draft version's up there. So hey, it's a work in progress. So what we're going to do today, Jamie and I went and videotaped a complete air conditioning install in the warehouse. Some of the things that I do, a lot of people will probably say, oh, you don't really need to do that, but I found a long time ago, it's easier to do it right the first time than have to come back and fix it. So the stuff that you want to see today is the actual way you should be installing these. And if you do it this way, you'll have less problems down the road, I guarantee it. So we're going to show you how to fix up an air conditioner a little bit better than this fan here. Maybe.
Here today, Jamie and I want to first show you why you should be using nitrogen every install. We're going to solder in a fitting with no nitrogen and then set up a piece here to flow some nitrogen through, and we'll solder it up and we'll show you the difference and why you should really be paying attention to this. Again, we're using oxygen in the filling for this purpose. New piece.
Hang on, guys. Gotta go back.
Your thing is the way on yesterday too, wasn't it?
Again, we're using oxygen in the filling for this purpose. New piece. But you want to make sure you don't stick the hot end in your mouth.
Yeah.
Which I had done several times. Okay, you can notice on the outside of this is oxidation and stuff. You see how it's wiping off? That's okay to be on the outside. I'm just going to wipe this off because I don't want none of that. You notice that there's none left on the outside of this anymore. I put the diamond penny down there as a reference. You notice the stuff that's coming out of there. And this is what happens. This is the flake that's inside there when you don't use nitrogen. The inside of that pipe should look just like brand new, just like that, from using nitrogen. And what we'll do is cut this up. And if you can see the black inside, it looks just about like this here, which it should be looking like that. You can see as I keep tapping, the more I tap, the more stuff comes out of it. We don't want that inside the line set. Through the reading. All brand new units come with a filter dryer. Okay, that filter dryer is installed in the liquid line to catch the crack when you don't do it right. We'll go ahead and solder this one in, but for this one now, what we'll do is this is the tank of nitrogen. Nitrogen is an inert gas. Okay, we'll take all the oxygen out of that pipe. If I don't have any oxygen in there, I don't get oxidation. So, to do this, very barely want to put this on. Okay, I can just barely feel that coming out. Actually, I can just barely hear it. That's all I need. Okay. So, as I'm soldering on this, and we'll do the same thing. The only difference is I'm running nitrogen through, and I put this pipe for open gutter rings to be able to make it all the way through. And this is some of the stuff in our heat pump class. We'll actually have you on the wall there, getting practice and just going a little bit of solder. You know, everybody solder, brazing, call whatever you want. But make sure you get the good solder. You don't want anything like foam solder. You see as I heat it up, the solder just flows right around. And you notice also there, Jim's moving that torch around, so it's not holding it in one spot. That's really important there as you get into the smaller size tubing and everything, because it's real easy to burn a hole through that small size tube. I use these shop rags. You use that shop rag, one of these shop rags seem to come in more handy than anything else. When you're soldering up against the valve and stuff, which I'll show you here in a little bit, you want to wrap everything in something. Okay, they do make gel that you can spray on it, like a heat sink. I've tried almost all of them. They seem to be okay, except you got to do a real bad mess to clean them afterwards. You take the rag and wrap it around it, and when you're done, you take it off, and you don't have a mess. Now you see again, I don't have any. I wipe all the oxidation on the outside off. I turn my tank off. You see, this is our nitrogen gauge. We're just going to bring us one over and show you the different types of connector handles. I'll throw that in the second video. Now, we'll do the same thing. And what I'll do is, yeah, I can keep banging on that, we'll still keep getting more stuff out of it. It's a good thing about working in a lab situation like this. I just throw stuff everywhere. We'll be able to see, you can just get a line, see how dark, and you may even be able to see some dirt in there. All right, now watch what happens when you do it right. Nothing coming out. Okay. Now, if you can look in there, is that shiny? It's exactly like that. All right. That's what you want to do. That's why you need to use nitrogen. Okay.
Anybody got any questions? I don't know if my audio is on. All right.
I'm back to the camera.
Hang on. Nope.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can't really make out the audio.
Yeah, well, that first one I had trouble optimizing to the PowerPoint, so I'm not sure. See what happens with the second one here.
Okay, I just wanted to give you that feedback in case, that's why everyone was so quiet. I'll mute again.
No, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm missing the slide. We'll go with this one. Hey, magic of television.
I'm back to the camera. Magic up here.
Like all of them.
I got everything put together. We're ready to start soldering. And then I took put a cable tie on my pipe rack. So I'm gonna be able to bring it back up and play what I'm done with. And over here now, another thing we're gonna have to do, remember that article I said is in there. I'm gonna take a wet rag. And I'm just gonna wrap it up so that doesn't get hot and melt back. Same thing I want to do, and you get a picture of these. We'll make valves down here and we'll wrap them up. I mean, we're not that close right now, but normally you would be down here soldering. And this is the air conditioner we've been using in class, so we've soldered on this back. Probably 8 classes now. So we're a little bit up, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap them up because we need to make sure that they don't get hot. If you get one of them, you got to buy a new one, and it's not a real fun thing to be down inside there soldering them back in. Now, I'm also going to put my nitrogen on. And if you notice this hose here, this end has a little perforation thing on it, about a quart compressor. And this end doesn't. Alright, so I don't have a valve for this one, so I'm going to put that in there. But my service valves, there's a valve core, so I need that valve core to press that when I put my nitrogen in. Now when we go to do our vacuum, we'll show you a little bit different way of doing it.
Weird.
I want my nitrogen to go in. It doesn't matter which side you do it on. You do it on the low side, the big side, it doesn't matter. I just go with one closest to me. Each one to go in, to that coil, back out, and out this hose. Again, I'm going to put the pressure on the valve side.
I can do that too.
Now again, I don't want a whole lot. Once I get this going, where's the speaker on the thing? I'm going to see if I can get it. If you can actually hear it this time.
Why is it so clear on mine?
You know?
I don't even have the static or anything.
I don't know if you can hear that, but
No.
it's just barely going through. That's all I need. Yeah. We'll leave that hanging there now. As I start soldering these together, that's the way right now. As I start soldering them together, I'll back and check it again to make sure I don't have too much flow. If I get too much flow, I'm going to solder it above the solder out.
I can see that little thing.
want to check. I will send it to the trying to follow this stuff in the board. I want to say. You take Brad, cool it down a little bit before you put it in. You want that hot going, you could still be hot enough for your blood. Now, the problem. If I read the data plate on this unit, which I can barely read, but test pressure is 300 pounds. This is on R22 system. These are the systems that you're going to be replacing or the ones that are going to be gone. And you're going to be putting new 410A in. The test pressure on that is 600 pounds. All right. The reason for using a good 15 or 20% brazing rod, this is 15% silver. I just had Sam buy it. They sold it by pound. 1 pound of it was 115 bucks. But it ain't coming apart. All right, so we'll blow some nitrogen in it. We'll take this side off so we can stop it, and we'll start filling it up and see if we got a leak, which I think we already have.
Yep, I don't think that would.
It's still hot too. Right on that back side where I couldn't see. That's fine. So, and if you bring a camera down here, Daniel, so you can see that little mark right there. That wee little mark right there, the line, that's where that nitrogen is coming out. So, this is why we test it. You want to find that leak before you put the charge in it. And it's no big deal. We'll fire that up. I'm going to grab the hot end again.
Yeah.
There
Want to get a good tattoo? I got a couple of them.
Tell them what you're doing there, John.
I'm gonna try to get it up to 100 pounds and then check for some smaller leaks. I don't want to go too far and waste a bunch of nitrogen because I got a leak. Right now, it doesn't sound like I have any, but all I've done is crank my gauge up and I'm turning it off here to get it up to 100 PSI on my gauge here. You can see how I'm just adding. And once again, I'm going to take it up to 300 pound, but I don't want to put 300 pound in it and then find a small leak and have to waste all that nitrogen. So we're about 100 pound, and we'll leave her sit there for a minute or two, just barely right under 100 pound. And I'm not detecting any small leaks right now, but we'll give her a second. Now, some of this is what I get from people, a lot of times contractors is, this is a waste of time. I can put that in a lot quicker. Whenever I lost a job because somebody did it cheaper, this is some of the things they did not do. Okay, but what do you think happened to the unit within about a year or so? Okay, all that crap's in there, don't vacuum it out, you got air, you got all that black crap in there. It starts mixing with that oil, turns into acid, and eats the windings in the compressor away. And boom, done. All right, so we're going to go time lapse. It's holding the 100 pound. I usually wait about 5 minutes. We're just going to kind of speed this up a little bit. Now I'm going to crank it up to 300. And then I'm just going to leave it sit there at 300 for about 5 minutes. And now I can get a little bit of, to be on the safe side, you already have this stuff, or you should have this gas leak detector bubble solution. I can put a little bit of that on there just to make sure I don't have any little tiny bubbles. And right now, it doesn't seem like I have any kind of leaks whatsoever. Don't be in a hurry. That wee little tiny leak, but before the end of next year, because you guys will mainly be putting heat pumps in, they'll be using that thing during the winter and the summer. And within that first year warranty that you think is going to kill you, you got that tiny leak, you're going to be out there adding Freon or fixing something that you don't need to be fixing. So let's say 20 minutes or so went by and we had other things we could be doing. We could be wiring up the furnace and running the cable, but we're actually going to do that so that you can see it. So everything's held. I'm going to turn this off. Keep hold of it because that will take off. We'll go ahead and let the nitrogen dissipate from that, and then we'll go into hooking up the vacuum pump. Speak and pause. Do you hear reply? Yes. Well, it acts like it took off. Can you see me on there anywhere?
I can't, Jim.
All right. Well, can anybody hear me now?
I can hear you, Jim. I can see your PowerPoint, but I can't see your personal screen.
Okay. Does the sound sound any better? Or
Yes.
I'm gonna have to take lessons in video editing, I guess.
Yeah, Jim, I don't know. Maybe that torch was just blasting the mic. I don't know if that was in the original recording or during, just what you're doing here, but maybe that torch was just,
Could be,
making it
yeah.
distort.
Yeah, that's what we're here to learn, I guess.
That's all part of it. But yeah, it was much better once it got towards the end. It was much more clear, and I could make it out. So.
Now, can you see me?
And yes, I can see you finally. Sight
God
for
help
sore
us.
eye.
God help us. I'm going to go ahead and try this next one, see how it goes. I'll have to run next door to Kevin's to see if we done any better or not. But give us a couple chats in there. If not, work with us. We'll see what we can do.
It's all good. You got a friendly audience, Jim. No,
So far, huh?
we're with you.
And this one here, I mean, just to give you an idea, going it the way I used to do it, and that's what I say on the thing, I think. I used to use the gauges, and then Rudy come along, and old man Rudy taught old man Jim new tricks. So we'll show you how it works. Crap. Maybe.
All right, we're back. What we're going to do now is, and this is something that almost every contractor did, including myself, because that's the way I was taught to do it. Use the vacuum or the gauges to pull vacuum, okay? Rudy opened my eyes on this. We're going to go ahead and use the gauges, and we're going to time it, and we're going to show you how long it takes to pull vacuum on the standard system. It's pretty close to a standard system. And then we're going to do it the way Rudy showed me how to do it. I'm not even going to explain it yet. We'll just go ahead and do it, and then I'll show you what happens. Once again, we're going to take the red, which is the high side, which is the low line. We're going to put that on our service valve. I haven't removed Schrader valves or anything. This is just the way we've always done it. People are still doing it this way. But I'm going to show you some ins and outs where you will be able to do it and save some time and doing it right. Okay, so I took the low side, or the low pressure, put them on the suction side, low pressure, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to put the middle hose. This is for pulling vacuum and or adding Freon, which we'll be doing later. And I'm just going to put that right on my pump. And again, these, if you got to get a pair of pliers out to tighten these up, you done screwed up. All you need to do is just real just snug them because they have little rubber O-rings in there that you can replace. And you just need to snug it up. All right, so I'm going to open both sides. Now, since this is an R22 system, and these are R22 gauges, you're going to make sure, because we also have a set over here that they won't do R22, but they'll do 410. Okay, this pump is brand new oil in it. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to open this valve up just a little bit before you turn it on. Once it gets going, you'll notice that my needle is starting to be pulled back. This actually has some readings on it for vacuuming. Okay, and Jamie just want to time to see how long it takes to do it. Now we're not gonna stand here and have you watch this the whole time. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this off, and then as soon as it gets close to the time, we'll go ahead and turn it back on. Do we? All right, with the time-lapse photography, we're back. We took exactly, what was it, Jamie?
1 hour and 26 minutes and 43 seconds.
Just barely right under 500 microns. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Now this again, we were using the gauges like I used to, and like a lot of people are still going. I'm going to go ahead and unhook the gauges. So we're no longer going to be using these right now. I'm going to use my
Valve core
remover tool. And again, the way that works, this is the tool that removes the valve core. I screw it on. I take out the valve core and it pushes it out. And I turn that off, and that way now I can take the valve core off and not lose any vacuum and or refrigeration. So we're going to remove the valve cores this time. Shut it off, unscrew it, and you can see right there.
Hold it back down, right? If you hold it right down by the valve, they can see. I got it zoomed in here.
You can see that's the valve core, so I've already taken the one on the air side off. Set them right there, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to use a bigger set of hoses now. And you notice no gauges. We'll just use our micron gauge down here at the bottom. And that micron gauge is connected to our valve core removal tool. So basically what we've done is we've eliminated the gauges, we increased the size of the hose, and we removed the valve cores themselves.
Okay, so we'll open this up. We'll open this up. And once again, I want to open this up, but I want to open this valve on the side before I get going. I'd allow a little bit of air in there to get this thing moving. And we'll start our timer.
Yep, I think that's ready. And it's going right now.
Might not need it. There you go. What happened? Next slide. Can't keep track of my own stuff. I'll grab this one and then you can just tell me.
All right, it's on.
All right, so what we've done, once again, here's our micron grade, 444, and still dropping. We installed 2 bigger hoses, and I'm running my mouth, but how long did that take, Jamie?
It took about 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes versus an hour and a half? What do you guys think?
I think we're in a good shape to just let her go like that, buddy. Cut her off for a second.
And
So now that we're below the 500 microns, we're going to go ahead and shut things down and put things back together and get ready to go ahead and charge this unit up. We'll shut the valves off. Turn the pump off. We can remove the hoses now. Move this out of our way. Okay. And now I can put my trigger valve back in. And again with these tools here, I can do that and not lose my vacuum. Trigger valve back in. Now remove the trigger valve tool. Right up there. We'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Open up. Trigger valve in. Remove my trigger valve tool. Put that one back in there. Okay, now I set this up so to show you that if this was a new install, I would be able to go right down here. Take my caps off, my service valves. Now remember, I said this was an older air conditioner. We don't have any Freon in here, but if this was a new one, this would remove it, and I would open up the valve. And again, it doesn't matter which side. And if it was new, it would now be putting Freon in the system. We're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and add Freon to it here in a minute. see how this ratchet would help you out a little bit better than having to do it with a Allen wrench. Once again, you know, you may pay a little extra for some tools, but the time that it takes you to get the job done and get it done right is a lot less. Okay, now, seeing that this was one we did not have any Freon in, we're going to go ahead and add Freon from our recovery tank where we recovered the Freon. But before I do that, what we're going to have to do is we're going to need the air conditioner powered up to help us recover and reclaim and put the Freon back in. So we're going to go ahead and wire things up, and we'll walk you through that here in just a second.
Oh yeah, this is that blurry one too. It starts out. Maybe. Need some acting lessons, I guess. Hang on. I got an hourglass. Oh! Restart program. Technical difficulties. Hang in there. If you got any popcorn, you might want to start popping it. Uh-oh. Microsoft PowerPoint not responding. Huh? You're good?
With the low voltage thermostat, okay, we mounted it. This one it's a digital heat cool. We're going to take our wires, and if I follow the schematic's going to tell me that the red is for my heat, which is R. Now, if you notice, we have on this one, it has a little jumper wire, and the reason for that is RC, which is power for the cooling, and then RH is this power for the heating. So we're just going to, it doesn't matter which side you put it on, just pick one side, put it on, and it's just going to jump power 24 volts to both the air conditioner and the heating both at the same time. Okay, and then if I follow my schematic, it's going to tell me to finish up my heat. I need to put the white wire on the W, which would be right. Oops. I was actually going to do that and show people that when you put a wire or wire nut on, give it a tug, make sure it's in there right. Well, this Seems to be working, period. Alright. Always helps if you're born with smaller fingers with the newer stuff. Let me fix this up here real quick. I got it, it's on there now. Okay, and then we get the white on W. That finishes my heat. Look at my schematic. It says that my green is for my blur, and I would hook it up to the G. We got to take into account these thermostats and these air conditioners in this furnace we've used about 10 times now in classes. The stuff are starting to wear out on it, and the Y would be yellow for, this is actually what we send power out to my air conditioner. Again, I got all them in, give a little tug just to make sure. This one here has a little switch, heat electric, HE, which is heat electric.
Jim, there's no sound on the video if you can hear me.
If it does have that, you want to put it on there. And then it says HP for heat pump and or just standard. We want it on standard. Now, not all of them have them, but take a look at the thermostat you were using and make sure there's no dip switches or stuff like that that you need. Oh, fired up the old. All right, so we'll condense. We got our wire running from our thermostat down into our unit. And this is where you want to make sure not to get confused. We have our other wire that goes out to our air conditioning unit. Okay, I'm only going to need 2 for that. Okay, so I know yellow is for my air conditioning from reading the schematic. So I would take both the yellows and I will hook them into the Y. Why? Because it's yellow. Why, man? Why? Why would you do that? Okay, so, and then once again, red will be on R. See, I didn't get down low enough, so I put the Y on R. Why? Because I didn't get down low enough to look. Yeah, that.
It says, once you allow shelter.
All right, now we'll put the R on R. Rudy. Oops. What's up? Okay, we'll let you in here in a second. All right. Oh, damn. He's still on?
Yeah, you're
I'll
still
keep going. Okay. So now, to finish up my Y that is going out, I have to bring a common back. We'll put that on C, which is common. That finishes up my 24 volts for the air conditioner going out. White was for heat, which is on W. And then again, G is for green, and that would be to turn the blower on. And what that does is, if you call for cooling, G will come in contact, turn the blower on when the air conditioner comes on. If you don't use the air conditioner, you can flip the switch on the thermostat from fan to fan auto to fan on. It would turn the fan on. So that's our low voltage for here, and one that we left over here. And of course, I use yellow and white. Yellow is for air conditioning. White, well, you could use any color you want. It doesn't matter as long as you know what color you use, so you don't get confused down the road. Get the wire nuts on. We're set there. Go ahead and wire up our switch. And again, all I'm going to do is I'm just breaking the hot wire. Put that in there. And you always want to put your wire looped around the way the screw is tightening up, so that the wire, as you're tightening the screw up, your wire will tighten right up with it. Or something like that. And it seems like the last class lost a screw. No, there it is. Got all my screws. They're not all loose. And again, this is pretty much everything we're going to go through in our class. Everybody's probably thinking right about now, why don't that dummy use a drill? Haven't had my workout this week. We tend to make everybody do things old school here, that way when they go out in the field, it feels a little better being able to. We don't need that work. All right, so we back. We just got to plug our furnace. Don't do that at home. Go ahead. We'll do our low voltage or high voltage now. Most of these don't take them off. It's a lot easier to deal with. We have our RV extension cord. Okay. We'll find out if it's on or not. I usually don't trust nobody, but just in case. All right, let me see this real quick. And what I'll show you here is, you got a flashlight. I can't. This thing got a light on it?
Well, that's what I was looking for earlier. and I
I
didn't-
don't think so.
Yeah, you can actually put it line.
Okay, I wanted to point out where it says line and load. All right.
Oh, that was pretty.
Line referring to power coming in from our source, and then load meaning going to, in this case, our air conditioner. So right now, we'll be hooking these wires up to the one that says line. And once again, it's kind of weird to be standing down here doing this stuff with Rudy sitting over there, because he's the man that got me in all this trash.
Yeah, but you're the man that really figured it out.
He's to blame for everything. I can't see it. Oh, okay, line. Now I can see it. We did our vacuum. It took an hour and 26 minutes with the gauge set.
Yeah,
Flipped it around, put the 2 hoses on it, 2.5 minutes.
seriously. Wow, wow. You videotape that?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
kind of time lapse. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we wasn't gonna make somebody sit there and watch an hour and a half.
2 hours. Fuck, I should have brought a thumb drive. Can't you get another thumb drive?
Need a little extra wire.
That was to do this, took an hour and 30 minutes.
On the gauge set. Yeah, well, of course, this is done for 2.
Yeah, okay.
So we had a little extra.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so what I'm gonna have here, and when you do this, and this will be outside, so this is called a whip kick. It's a flexible conduit. You can buy them in a kit. I used to just buy this stuff in a roll and the fittings. I don't have any around here right now. I just buy the fittings and make my own length up, have my own wire. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. But again, it's 220 volts, so we'll have 110. This will be my load. And what we'll do at the end of this is figure out how long, in actuality, you can do one of these in half a day. The reason I know that is I used to do 2 a day. Okay, so I'm going to hook these ones up to the one that says load. Go ahead and hook my ground up.
You got all kind of people talking there.
I'm pretty sure I could probably hook one up in 4 hours, but I'm not going the second one anymore. So again, I was able to take that door off. Most of the doors come off. It gives me, I don't have that thing sitting in my face all the time. Now I can put it back on. Okay. And this, it has on and off, okay? Me, I want control right there it sits. That way I don't have Rudy coming over here and poking it up, get me while I'm not looking. This is just going to go down here.
this is going to hook into our contactor. I know you can't probably see it very well.
Hell, heck no.
Okay, this is our air conditioning contactor. I'll be hooking it up to the two bottom screws on the bottom. And this is where it acts like you're working on a vehicle.
Could clean that contactor up.
Another reason I don't do this anymore. Once I'm down, get back up.
It gets worse, dude.
It's a little hard.
And this is a new contactor here and stuff. Basically, you got the power coming out for your unit here out of these two top lugs. The incoming power is going to be down here on the two bottom lugs on this.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take about let's do about a 10-minute break, and then we'll finish this up. We'll show you how to put the Freon in and how to recover.
No.
You guys got any questions while we're on break, you can ask. I can't really see the chat, so I don't know what's going on with the chat.
Hey, Jim, do you have to do all that grunting when you're wiring like that?
No, buddy, the older you get, the more grunting you do. That was one of the things I said, I don't know whether it's me or Jamie, but we were doing some grunting. And we got about 8 of them now, though.
Yeah, I remember some of them's gonna be going back up to weeds too.
We got a couple more minutes here. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Jamie's back. He can read them out. And then we'll take some answers and questions afterwards, too. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start back up here. Get your popcorn ready. Make sure there's some butter on it.
All right.
All right, so we've pretty much finished wiring everything up. We now want to fill back up with Freon. We've hooked our gauge sets up. We've got a red hose on the high side, low side, which is the big side or big line, and the low or the high is the lower line. We want to remember now we pulled the Freon out of it, we can put it back in. Now I'm going to put this on there, but I'm not going to hit the tar button yet because I want to hook up my other hose. And we're going to be taking it out of the vapor side.
Which is the blue side on them recovery tanks.
All right, now the reason I did this is when I put that hose on there, it adds to the weight. I want to be able to have my gauge set ready to go, not moving. That way it doesn't affect it. Now these, when we read on the data plate, well, after many eyes got on because it's all faded, we finally figured out it's supposed to take around 3.75 pounds. So that's what we needed for weigh in. I'll hit the tar. That goes back to 0. I can now open my tank. And I can open my gauge. And to get close, you might be able to hear that going in, but you also ought to be able to see the weight going at the same time. We got 2.5 ounces in it right now. Now we're only going to be able to get just a little bit in it, and then we'll have to use the compressor itself to help pull some of the Freon out of the tank.
Yeah, whenever the pressure from the tank equalizes with the pressure in the system, there you gotta turn on the unit there and actually use the compressor.
Yeah, we got to crank it over, man.
I just heard something pop. I just wanted to make sure.
My ankle or my knee. Now again, you guys are probably, I mean, yeah, we're dealing with old stuff here. This was all donated to us. We're dealing with R22. When you start putting the new heat pumps in, you're going to be dealing with 410A.
410A.
Now, and what we're going to be looking for, and we're probably not going to get it exactly, but we'll get it close. Again, we're in one of those environments that's not real. When I'm charging this up, it says in the cooling procedure, you need to have the unit operating for at least 10 minutes. You want to measure the suction pressure, attaching the gauge to the suction surface port, which we've got. Okay, and then I want to measure the suction temperature by putting a thermistor, or in this case, a thermometer on it. Okay, we're going to put that down here. We can hook all this up while we're waiting for that Freon to get in there. Now, this is just for this particular unit. Now, every one of them got a different way of checking charges and stuff. So I can turn that on, and what it'll do, it'll start telling me the temperature as the Freon's moving through once we get it fired up. And what it's telling me to do is I'll take that, measure the indoor wet bulb temperature, which is right around 65 degrees in here. And of course the outside temperature too is around 65 degrees. That's why we have a little bit of trouble. But basically I'm going to go up here to my superheat. I got 65 and I've only got 64. So when we get done, when we subtract these two, we should be right around 24 degrees superheat. We're probably not going to get it, but we'll see here in a little bit. And again, I want to reiterate, this is how they want it done on this one. We're going to, here in the next couple of days, we're probably going to hit a couple other ones that we have here. And they got a couple different ways of doing the way they want it done too. In the old days, we just kind of figured out right around 70, depending on 80 to 90 degrees, 70 to 80 pounds on the low suction side, and it worked out perfect because the mold systems were
we're not finicky. All right, so we got almost, looks like about a pound in there. It looks like we're not getting much more in there. So we're gonna cross our fingers. And I've got the disconnect in. I'm gonna plug the furnace in. If nothing blows, we'll I'm gonna throw the switch. And I'm gonna turn it on cool. And get down below, yeah, it's 65 degrees on the thermostat here. And I'm gonna hit it. Air conditioner come on. Blur's on. Now what you'll notice, I'll be able to start using the compressor to pull some more Freon out. So, I give us a couple more minutes and we'll be pretty close if this whole thing makes it. This is what, the 8th or 9th time we hooked and unhooked and hooked back up. Usually what I'm looking for on here too is if I follow this green, which is the R22, if I follow that needle down right now, it says that temperature is of the Freon going through it right now is around 40 degrees. Okay, it needs to be above 32 or 3. And once I get it there, then I can start checking to see how many pounds I got in. That 1 pound is 6 ounces. One thing that I can do, if you heat this bottle up, put it in some warm water, it would actually raise the temperature or the pressure in that tank and it would help force it in. Or I have another way, but I will not say. Yeah, now normally, we would be using the R22. This is a version of the R22 now. And it would be in a tank like this. We use that tank instead of this one. Since we recovered the Freon from this unit, we're allowed to put that Freon back in that unit. Well, evidently we did something right. It's running. If that would have had a filter dryer on it, it might have caught that. You got about 2 pounds. When I say this is my saturation temperature, which is down here in the green, is be about 20 degrees at 40 pounds. Okay, I'm gonna need just a little bit more, but if I was to check real quick, I have 65 degrees and 20 degrees. 20 from 65 is 45. So at 45 superheat, I'm looking for, what I say, 20 something? Yeah. So to get that there, it's telling me I need to add more Freon, which we know because we still got a pound to go. Kind of explain it to you. This is what they're looking for. It's kind of funny. This gauge is hooked right down there next to our thermometer, and to have that much difference in it. People want to know, how long does it take? It takes what it takes. You do everything right, you're going to have tools to help you do it quicker. It's going to take what it takes, but it's going to be quicker than screwing it up down the road, trying to be cheap and cut corners. I made a lot of money off of people cutting corners. I'd lose a few jobs, but it ended up about a year later I'd be getting them back because I couldn't get the guy that cut corners to come back and fix it. Now once again, there's a lot of different ways things can be done, but we're just showing you the simple way. Okay? There's a lot more theory to everything. There's a whole lot of stuff that needs to be done, but these are the simple, easy ways. This is what it takes to hook up an air conditioner and or heat pump system. Now, once again, we're not close. We still need to add more Freon, but if we went by the way they were telling us, we take our saturation temperature, which is about 25, subtract it from 66, so 66 minus 25 equals 41. You can see that number starting to drop down. We're looking at somewhere around 24 or 27. If you don't have these gauges, this is the pressure temperature chart here that you go to. And you just know what the gauge pressure is and you can reference to a temperature. 2 pounds, 10 ounces. It takes what it takes.
Did you open the gauge back up?
No, I didn't. That's gonna get me.
Yeah.
Now, heading down the road, we'll not only do this air conditioning install here, but we'll start try to get a class for troubleshooting air conditioning. You go out there and you don't listen to what I'm telling you. A year later, you're going to be out there trying to figure out why that thing ain't working right. And I'm going to guarantee I can figure it out in a minute. With age comes
Experience.
I got these scars because I did dumb stuff. It's okay to do dumb stuff, just learn from it. Never go on the road with RW.
So it's the expression, good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment.
We're down to about 33 right now, so we're getting close. And what it's telling me over here, we got 2 pounds, 14 ounces, and we need 3 1/4. 3 3/4, 3 3/4. Could get this thing to hook up to my phone. I even took it and leaned down and tried it up. I need to get some more stuff. We're 2 pounds, 15 ounces, so we're not very far away.
Calls you back.
I'll be right back. Now, once again, we're probably not going to get that. This all relates to airflow. All right. Over here, we have no ductwork. So we don't have the ideal situation. But again, I hope we wait to go ahead. We don't have no restriction for return. But we're going to be able to get pretty close to that number. But again, maybe I'll be able to get, maybe we've actually got a heat pump system that we put in, brand new ductwork and all in there, that we'll be able to start showing a little bit better how things work. I got about 3 pounds in it now. I look at this and it says it's about 35. I'm gonna go ahead and crank it back up a little bit more. I got 66. I got 66 minus 35 equals 31. We're looking for 27, so we're what, 4 off?
Yeah.
And we still need about 2 more ounces of Freon. But again, now I can make up for lack of ductwork by adding more Freon. But then you're gonna have to start looking over here. If I start getting up around 250 pounds on the gauge on the high side, we're adding too much Freon.
And again, when Jim's saying that, remember, this is an R22 system, not a 410A. 410A operates at a lot higher pressure. So.
Again, it is what it is, it takes what it takes. You don't rush this stuff. You rush it, it's probably headache down the road. Now, that's about, I got 66 on my thermometer here. On my gauge, I got 36. 66 minus 36 equals 30. I got what they said it needs to be measured in. Okay. In all reality, I would already know be right because of the ductwork. Okay, so I'm going to adjust out here. If I was to say I'm going to, as an HVAC employee, install a heat pump on this system, I wouldn't even start until I knew the ductwork was right. Okay, once I know the ductwork was right, I knew I had the blower was going to boost. This is an actual 2-ton system. It's 12,000 BTUs per ton, so it's 24,000 BTUs, 2 tons. That means I need 400 CFM per ton. That means I need, that blower needs to be boosting around 800 CFM. If I don't have that at the beginning, knowing this ain't gonna do any good, okay? And that's where you got to really pay attention to the ductwork and registers and all that on the system before you start off. All right. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, we're not going to go any further. We're not going to get any more of what we did. I think we did pretty good. We'll come up with some more troubleshooting stuff later on.
That's it. Okay. I did, but I don't know what happened to it. All right, anybody got any questions out there? Man, I'm pretty
Hey,
much. Yes.
So if you're working on a central air system where you have to remove the refrigerant and there is not a filter, an inline filter on that system, would you recommend putting that old refrigerant back into the system or just adding new?
Well, what you can do is, and we had the recovery video, but I lost it. So we'll try to get one down the road. But you can put a filter dryer in line as you're recovering it.
To clean out the contamination?
Well, yeah, just in case, because you never know. If you're working on an R22 system and you have to do some work on it down, it's bound to determine that whoever put that in probably didn't do it right. So.
Okay, thanks.
Again, they don't make R22 anymore. There is just very little virgin R22 out there. The stuff that we have is what do they call that? A blend. It's not really R22, but you can still buy it. We bought that bottle. It was $600 and some. So be careful. R22 was one of the refrigerants that they phased out along with a lot of the other ones, but that's the only one we got to really deal with. And it was replaced with the 410A.
So Jim, this is Kevin. It's my central air that I had for a while now. Had on the label it says R22. So I can't replace that with anything. Or you
have to be able to buy a substitute R22, and to be able to buy that, you have to have a EPA certification.
No, I understand. And I just didn't know if that because it's so expensive.
No, I mean, down the road, it'll just be non-existent.
So what's more economically sound, buying a new central air or trying to replace the Freon?
Well, it depends on how much. Right now, normally the contractor is going to probably charge you $150 a pound. If you got to put more than 2 pounds in it every year, then you probably ought to start thinking about putting some money back and upgrading to a new one, because with the new one, it's going to be more energy efficient down the road too.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the question. What was that other one, Jamie? We've been getting most of all of our stuff from True Tech Tools. If you have a car supply close by, you can pop by the car supply. I recommend True Tech Tools, and the reason, again, we're not getting any kickback from them, but they have a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of good videos in case you're interested. And they you order today, usually you get it within the same week. And they have just about anything you need as far as heating, cooling, equipment and stuff like that. Now, once again, I apologize for the video. It didn't look like it was very good. We had a little bit of audio. Again, I'm kind of like Dave. We're getting better at this slowly. We will be making some more in the future. I'd like to say before we get off here, we are announcing that we will be looking right now for 2 new trainers. If you guys know of anybody, or if you're interested, send your resume. We're looking for a couple more people that's got some experience so we can expand our portfolio. And the crickets are chirping. Well, again, if you've got them evaluations, put something in there, tell us where you liked it, where you didn't, whether or not you want some more, because we're going to be doing some more down the road. And once again, we appreciate you guys putting up with us, and we're glad we could put something out there to help everybody out.
And we all appreciate it, Jim. Thank you for all your work.
And again, I'm going to put out there, we do TNTA, which is technical assistance. You guys going to put anything in, you're not quite sure what for your first time, or even you want some help, just give us a call. We'll be up there. We're more than glad to give you a hand. Yeah, we might even want to film some of it. See, we can make movie stars out of everybody, even you, Larry.
That's a bit risky, Jim.
Well, we can hide the video camera while we're on the boat.
That's about the only way you're gonna film me is on the boat.
Hey, give me a call. I can solder a piece of pipe together on a boat. All right, well, guys, it's been great. Been real. And I think we got one more tomorrow. We got one more tomorrow, so put up with us one more time. We'll be talking to you later. Health and safety with Kevin.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks, man.
See you later, Jim.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yep. Everybody have a good day.
See you, Jamie.
Have a good evening now. Thanks for the video and everything.
Yep. Peace and love. All right.
Yeah. Well, this is we're
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, he's there.
Him and Dave doing some stuff. Did you get that, Jamie? Where to?
All right.